Okay, today I'm going to make pancit. Here's going to be the ingredients: some cabbage. Most of the time I use just the green cabbage, but I had that on hand, so I'm going to do both. I have a candle burning because for me it helps when I cut an onion. So I have a medium-sized onion there. I'm only going to do not maybe, let me see. I'm going to do 5 cloves of that garlic, and normally I would have celery. Did not realize that I was out of celery, and had a little storm brewing outside, so I'm not going to go get any. So I have some celery seed I'll add to it instead. Some chicken broth, and of course Silver Swan soy sauce. This is not the brand I usually use for my Pancit Bihon, but we'll give it a try. This would be the first time that I've had this particular brand. I live in a new area now, and from where I live for the past over 30 years, so the Asian market that I went to, I'll just have to get used to it. They did have some holes, so they might have the brand I normally use, and I'll be honest, I can't even tell you the name of the brand, but I know the package when I see it. And I'm also going to, once again, typically it would have been ground pork in it, and actually whenever I made it, mostly I did it just vegetable, but I'm gonna throw this ground chicken in as well after I start some of these vegetables. A lot of this will be garnish, will go on towards the end, but the actual onion part itself, I'm going to put that in when I'm sauteing the other onion and garlic. And like I said, sometimes I'll use strips of chicken. I've eaten a lot of it years ago when I lived in Virginia Beach. There's a big Filipino community there. Several of the ladies would use ground pork, and then they would garnish it with deviled eggs, slices of hard-boiled egg. Not deviled eggs, slices of hard-boiled egg, but I'm not going to do that either. So anyway, I'm going to get to cutting everything up here. I do have my helper today, Miss Moxie girl. Moxie, you want to tell them what you've been doing while I'm cutting everything up? I've been having carrots. She loves her some carrots. I'm Moxie girl. So the wok is pretty well heated up. There's the onion. I ended up doing 4 cloves of garlic. They're about that size. 4 or 5. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to get this stuff sauteing. And that is, I also have that part of that onion from there. I'm reserving the green portion for more like garnish. So we'll get this sauteing, and I julienne the carrots as well, leaving a few chunks for my helper. And I went ahead and threw in the 1 pound of ground chicken, and I'm going to pour in, mostly just because I want this to be seasoned into the meat, I'm going to go ahead and pour about a tablespoon of the soy sauce. As I mentioned to you all before, I don't like a lot of soy, so I might actually just do about a heaping teaspoon right now. Add some later once I get the noodles going. And I have the ground chicken in there with the soy, onions, and garlic. They said in Virginia Beach, when I lived there, there's a very large Filipino community, and a lot of those ladies, these were at, I think, every single function they would have. Somebody would bring pancit, and they garnished with quite a few of them garnished with slices of hard-boiled egg. And this is really, like I said, a lot of times I just would do vegetable, or I would do chicken that I cut up, not necessarily ground chicken. But just going on the same ideas, using the ground pork, I decided to go ahead and do the ground chicken because, to be perfectly honest, it needed to be cooked and I didn't want to waste it. So that's what we're doing here, getting it cooked. So, and I know I've said it before, I love that smell of onion and garlic when it's cooking. I don't like the smell of it on my hands though. And my mom, golly day, I don't even remember how many, I don't remember how many years ago, but she bought me this. She gave this to me. It's stainless steel. Looks like a mushroom. They make them now, they look like bars of soap. But I just put my Dawn dish soap on there, and when I'm cleaning my hands, you rub it on there, and it takes that smell out of your hands. I like it when it's cooking, but I don't like to keep it in my fingers and on my hands. I want that. So that's just kind of a neat gadget, and I kid you not, I think I've had it a good 40 years. So I've had it a while. And so, but this is getting pretty well incorporated. And then now I'm going to throw the cabbage in. Like I said, you can use either color you want. Usually I just use the green, but I have both on hand, so I'm going to use it. And throw the carrots in. I don't want them too wilty. I like it to have a little al dente. And I know sometimes people put bell peppers and other stuff. This is actually, instead of the snow peas for this dish, I usually would do green beans. There weren't any good fresh green beans though. So, but snow peas have to be one of my absolute favorites though. And so I rinsed them off. And I definitely don't want those all soggy. So I'll do those last. Whoa! Knocking over the tripod. Here we go. Get all that mixed together. It's kind of pretty looking, I think. This is kind of a, not kind of, it is a comfort food for me. Like I said, that's Pancit Bihon, and I've done shrimp with it before too, but this is going to be a simple one. But the ingredients are simple. For the noodles, or they actually call them rice sticks, and I like that they're so thin. I know my grandpa, Emil, he never garnered a lot of financial wealth, but he was definitely a good cook. And this would not have been an expensive dish to make. So, and I'm not gonna put in all of the snow peas. And snow peas I like to just eat raw on a salad. Clean them up. And so, and then I also like snow peas with brown sauce. I'll make that sometime. That's good. It's one of my faves. Isn't that pretty? I think so. I think so. Okay. And then I'm going to throw in some celery seed. Like I said, typically I would have had celery, and but maybe a teaspoon. I like celery on I eat a vegan hot dog. I don't remember the name of it. There's a couple out there that are super nasty. But there's one I really like it. I like the consistency of it. I like to put celery seed on it. Good old mustard. But that's looking good, looking good. And I'm going to set this mixture aside, and I'm going to put some of the chicken broth in here and get these noodles started. Okay, this is 32 ounces. I'm going to start with maybe just half of this. So you can see part of the pancit mixtures in there. That's okay. That's about half of it. Let that come up to a boil. Tell y'all, you didn't see me transfer this from the wok to, I just put the mixture in a bowl that I have here. But isn't that pretty? There's scales on it, fish scales. And listen to this. That is one of these snow peas. Perfect texture. Perfect. Not soggy. And turn the heat up a little bit with this broth. And for just myself, this is like overkill, but I will freeze some of it. I'll just eat a big bowl of it tonight for dinner, and you can certainly have it as a main course or as a side. I've made it before, and for my Billy and I, and then I just do the veggie style, and then I would cook us some salmon to go with it. Okay, here we go. I'll get the crunchies from the bottom, and let's see. You see how these are? And they're really not quite boiled. I could break it, but I don't. Just push that down, and then just let it really get the flavor of that broth. Normally I use a low sodium broth. It was not a available to me, so it was just regular broth. Tell you what, I'm about ready to throw that out of the pan. Gordon Ramsay being here yelling at me. Could you imagine? Well, my mother-in-law, rest in peace, told me years ago, the more dishes and the messier a gal gets a kitchen is a sign of a good cook. I should be a chef. Yeah, I'm not. Sometimes they have different brands of these that are in little balls. So, just trying to get some of this to incorporate. You hear it? Should grab some tongs. There we go. Put what's on the bottom on top because it's just about there. Switch that up. And there we go. Oh my Lanta. I'm just like all over the joint here, people. And there we go. I'm going to add some more, ideally. I don't want it, I don't like it soupy. But I don't want it dry either, so you can kindly see down there what we got going on. Too bad y'all can't experience this smell. It is good. I watched another YouTuber. I really like her, and I'm gonna say her last name wrong. I'm sure of that. I'm adding more chicken broth. Her name is. She made a really good-looking dessert. It was a strawberry cream crepe cake. It was a sweet video. You need to go watch it. Her name is Melinda. I know that for sure. I think she spells her last name Roucant. I'm sure I've heard her say it. I don't recollect it though, but she has. And that would be all of the broth. But I just don't know really how to say her last name. But you should go over there and look at her dessert she made. The strawberry cream crepe cake. She had a little mishap, but she laughed it off, but I can totally relate to that because if y'all saw what I did when I transferred it from here to the bowl. It was a mess. Okay, it still has a little bit of stiffness to it. I don't want that. I do want it to be incorporated into the chicken broth, get that flavor in there. Now I've used when I do just straight vegetable, I'll use vegetable broth. So this is pancit is, you know, you can make it however you want. There's no right or wrong, so to speak. But to me, it is kind of about that noodle. I think that makes a huge difference. So, and let's see if I can get this in there without making a big mess. Alright, I did it. You can see on the plate there, that's the celery seed. And then sometimes I don't have lemons either. I'm gonna put some pepper in here though. If I did shrimp, I would squeeze one whole lemon, but this, I wouldn't do it on chicken, for that's personal preference. And I can't remember the name of the particular citrus that would be something Filipinos would put on theirs, but like I said, I've used lemon before to put on it, and like I said, I definitely don't want to overcook. I don't want it all soggy. That's not what I'm going for. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the tops of the green onions on. I like that just to get a little wilty, not super wilty. And I'm going to put a wee bit more soy sauce. Silver Swan. There we go. Because to me, between the salt with the chicken broth, soy sauce, it's going to be salty enough. And see how the ground chicken kind of just blends in. So if you feel like you need protein, you can do that. Or ground pork, like I said, that would be a bit traditional. Shrimp, chunks of chicken. Okay, I'm going to turn the gas off on this now. I think it's good. Try a little bite. You heard Moxie girl in the background terrorizing Calvin the cat. A little bite of a few of this. Hot. In my bowl. All this dinner. I mean, that makes a lot, because I have a decent sized wok, and it makes a good amount. Nice and hot, and I'll let it cool a little bit before I take another bite. I think I am going to add just a little more celery salt. Or, I'm sorry, it's not celery salt, it's celery seeds. Like, I'm gonna put some on my dish that I poured out too. I don't use a lot of garlic salt or onion salt. I'll use onion powder or garlic powder. I just don't want all that sodium. I don't need it all. So, let me see. Okay. I'm gonna take me a nice bite of a little bit of everything here. I'm not gonna make you watch me do that. Whoops, dropped my favorite part, the snow pea. Perfect. It is good. Come here, Mox. I couldn't have done it without Moxie. So go to the Asian market. Get you some. They have to be by home. Rustics. For pancit. A lot of times it'll say Pancit Bihon on it. Like I said, that's not the brand I usually use. Silver Swan. Absolutely. All the veggies. Use whatever kind of meat in it you want. Use pork, chicken, shrimp, or do veggie. You want to do veggie? Hey, Moxie. Oh, look. We have 2 visitors. We have 2 helpers. Oh, well. Come here, Mox. Okay, girl. Yeah. She's a helper. So, that's it. Have a super Saturday, y'all. I'm gonna go eat. Because I gotta get this in my mouth. Because it smells so good. I'm gonna eat it hot. Take care.